you know, I thought we handled it okay. I thought we tried to play too fast for a little stretch there, trying to beat it. But once we just decided, it's, you know, I told our guys at halftime, we scored 60 points, you know, with them doing it, but we gave up too many points. And so it's funny, I was upset because of that. I thought we were thinking about that instead of thinking about defending. And in the second half, I thought we did a better job of defending, and the game changed.
In the first half, DeAndre's rolling his eyes a little bit. And it seemed like it was maybe bothering him.
Yeah.
For him to stay in the game in the second half and to be such a big part of what you guys did in the first half, what does that say about his kind of on-court growth?
It's great. You know, he's had practice at it. You know, he really has. And, you know, I just kept telling our guys, hey, guys, they're going to follow him, and he's going to play, and let's just keep playing. And I thought, you're right, though, I thought all of us kind of got freaked out by it early, and then I thought after that we were fine.
Doc, why did you decide not to take him out early on when they were doing it?
I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, I don't have a strategy for it. I look at the score, I look at fouls, I look at the rhythm of a game. You know, it was hurting us, but I didn't think it was hurting us enough to take him out. You know, because his defense is so important, Mark. And at the end of the day, I think if we can get more stops and he can split them, he didn't split them in the first half, then we're good. So it's just a tough call every night. And I can tell you, I'm wrong half the time I'm right on it. I mean, it's a tough call. It's the damnedest thing.
Doc, at what point did you see how many free throws he shot in the first half? Did you realize, and to hear, I don't know if you know that there's a playoff record, he broke Shaq's record for most free throws attempted in a playoff game in the first half?
Well, 28. I hope that's a record. Please tell me that's a record. I knew he took a lot. I don't want to look. I never look at the stats during the game. I'll look at it at halftime. You know, that's when I look at the stats. But I got Lawrence and Mike Woodson and Sam Cassell saying 22, 24. So you don't need a stat sheet when you got a verbal stat sheet sitting next to you. You know, I was just hoping we can get other guys fouls too. You know, I really was looking at that. The way the game was going, I kept. Another thought for me was when they were fouling early is I was going to take them out because they're in penalty now, and then you can go back. And now every time you get fouled, you go to the free throw line with one of your guys. But I just decided to leave them in. I'm sorry you guys missed your reservations because this game, did we break a record there too in a four-quarter game? It has to be the longest.
Doc, was tonight an example of the hacking hurting the team that was doing it more than the team being fouled? And do you think that it played a factor in them never really seeming to get into a rhythm and falling apart in the second half?
You know, I don't know, Scott. It does happen, though. I think both teams lost their rhythm for a while, and so that's the problem with it, you know, especially if you're them or us, you know, teams that run, teams that like motion. You know, it turns it into a half-court game, and, you know, it allows us to set our defense. That's the one, if there is the one positive thing about the fouls, you know, I love our defense when we're set. And anytime we go to the free throw line, we get to set our defense.
Doc, Blake was pretty good when you got here as coach.
Yeah.
How is he, I mean, he had another good game, he's been great in class. How has he evolved since you've taken over the last 2 years?
Well, it's not me, I can tell you that.
How has he changed?
It's just him. Like, he works on his game. We've asked him to do certain things, you know, be a better elbow player. That means passing, shooting, and handling the ball. And he's done that. We asked him to face the basket more instead of turn your back on the basket, on the post. And I think that's the area to me that he's made his biggest improvement. Very difficult to guard him when he faces up to you right off the block because you can't put your hands on him. And with his first step and his quickness and his ability to see the floor. So, but I just, you know, you guys don't see it, but the hours that he puts into it is what he's done.
Doc, it's more of like an intangible thing, but can you speak to like the confidence and swagger this team has? I mean, no matter what the score is, it seems like there's a new confidence about this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's an intangible thing. You got to believe. You really do. And I think our guys do. They've done it all year. They really have. But you know, it's just that I think right now, honestly, they just have great focus. They're not thinking about a lot of stuff, but doing their jobs and trying to win the game. They don't. There's no stuff. It's just they're just really focused right now, and we got to keep them that way.
Hey Doc, with Chris's second game since the hamstring, how did it look to you? And also, what kind of variables are you going to be measuring moving forward as to whether you're increasing the minutes or keeping it where it is?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, today it was funny because that's where the hack of whatever you want to call. I still think we should call the hack of Shaq in honor of him. That's where the hack of Shaq helped. Is we were going to take CP out, and I turned to JP and said, he's just walking down the floor every time. Honestly, it's not like, even though the minutes were ticking, there was no basketball going on, so he could stay in, and JP agreed with that. But moving forward again, I just don't know. It's just, again, every step he takes, makes the coach nervous.
Over here. This series is decidedly turned in your favor, not just the factor of 3-1, but the last two games being decided, big blowouts for the club. How do you feel about your team's position?
Well, I mean, obviously I love where we're at, but the series is not over. I mean, we got to keep playing. We got to finish, they're not going to just get out of our way, so we have to keep playing. We have to keep trusting. We can't think about winning the series. We have to keep thinking about how we play, and then everything else will take care of itself. And I think our guys have done a pretty good job with staying within themselves.
Doc, I know pre-game you said you only think about last year when we bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up once more because you guys are one win away from going to a place this franchise has never been before in the conference finals, and that's coming 1 year removed from what may have been the lowest point in this franchise's history. What does it say about this team's resolve to have this opportunity, and how meaningful is that to you to have this shot?
Well, it's meaningful to have the shot, but I want to do it first, so that's more important to me. The fact that it's anniversaries, I try not to know the anniversary, half the men in the world can't remember their wedding anniversary. Why would I ever want to remember that anniversary when you think about it, So for me, it just tells you about our growth, though. I think our guys and our organization is growing, but we I don't want to go there. We got work to do.
Last question, Melissa? No? All right.
Can I get one?
Oh, he had his hand up in the back, and he has a nice tie.
All right.
Doc, obviously you try to wrap up the series as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But considering Chris's hamstring, you wrap this thing up Tuesday. You think about the potential to get rest?
I don't, but I know what you're saying. Like, I want them to focus on Tuesday's game, and then whatever happens after that happens. But we got to do our job first. Obviously, it'd be a great thing to have. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Coach.